Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. A very good evening to everyone today. Okay, for the entrepreneur lab on our chapter 3 or unit number 3, which is we are going to go through uh, financing for entrepreneurship. Okay. Uh, yeah, for every businesses, we want to start businesses, we need a finance, we need a capital, we need a liquidity. So then, for this, let me go to the slide. Okay, chapter 3, financial resources for entrepreneur. Okay, the objective of this chapter or learning outcome from this chapter, which is you'll be able to describe what is the importance of financing for entrepreneur success, and you can be able to explain why most entrepreneur ventures need to raise money during their early life, early venture, or during their early startup businesses. And you can be able to identify and describe three sources of personal financing available to the entrepreneur. We have three sources of personal finance. We have even the finances that we have four. Okay, we can able to identify and explain three steps involved in properly prepare to raise debt or equity financing, and we also be able to explain the three most important sources of equity funds, and another two is, of course, we can describe common sources of debt financing entrepreneurial firm use, and describe several creative sources of financing entrepreneurial firm may choose to use. Okay. Okay. Next, let's check what is the importance of getting financing or funding. Okay. Then nature of the funding and financing process. If people try to raise in investment capital. Okay, investment, which is we trying to have the finance sources from outsiders to invest into our businesses. Okay, as a result, many entrepreneurs go about the task of raising capital haphazardly because they lack of experience in these areas, which is in the process of raising investment. Okay, why most of the new venture needs funding? We have three reasons why the new venture needs funding. Okay, this is I will go one by one in our next slide. Okay, let's see what's make entrepreneur finance different from corporate finance. Okay, corporate finance, they focus on the existing business and the challenges they face to grow in order to deliver a healthy return to their investor. Okay, means that whatever funding for financial for corporate is only focused for their existing business. If you don't start any businesses, so you cannot get the funding. Okay, then the challenges faced is how to grow your profit to deliver a healthy return to your investor. So investor must when they invest into your businesses, they need to know your stability of your businesses, how much debt you have, and your forecasting for your finance and so forth. So the healthy return to the investor will gain more investor for your businesses. But this corporate finance only focus for the existing business. Let's say if you want a fund from the in Malaysia, we have Mara, we have a few bankers that give funding, but most of their like SMEs bank, most of their funding scheme for the existing businesses. Okay. venture or new startup business for entrepreneur, it's really their financial is related to an entrepreneur first challenge to acquire the funding to be able to start their businesses, okay, their enterprise. So to test whether there is an actual opportunity that can be made into a business that has the potential to become financial sustainable. Okay, start way before the generation of value. Begin begin begins during the opportunity phase when the entrepreneurs start develop their ideas, which is when you start develop ideas. So you need to think about your finance, where you need to find the finance, who is the potential person or potential funder that can give you sources for your capital. Okay, we go next. So in corporate finance, you have the historical information. Okay, this historical information that because of you already the existing businesses, so you have some historical information about your finance, your forecast, business forecast, and so forth. So then sometimes your forecast is not accurate, and this is make worse to your uh, return of investment. Okay, but for entrepreneurial finance, this is the one just start up the business. There is no previous history and the future is unknown. So this is not cannot be read. Your future cannot be read, of course, because you are just a new idea, something that very new. Then who's know where you start the business, you cannot gain anything. We cannot forecast things that really not happen. Okay, okay. The returns is about the returns. So so if in terms of information, uh, most of the investor or funder, they prefer to give you a corporate in terms of finance. They give to the corporate who is the business already started, already run for a long time, maybe for 1 to 2 years maybe. But for the entrepreneur, if you just want to start your business, no one get any information about your business. No, the bankers maybe cannot. I think most of the bankers don't agree to give a funding or loan to your business when you want to start your business, unless you have one something as a return for them. Okay, in terms of return, corporate finance, we assume that project or investment will have a positive net present value NPV, but if not, they will not be implemented. So for the entrepreneurial finance, the losses or the profit as well part of the game, since in the early years most of the money is plowed into the investment and expenses. Okay, and for hopefully because of the early stage of our startup process, we need to invest all our money for the expenses. Okay, let's say we want to open a restaurant, 50,000 or 50,000 of our saving goes to that operational process. Then the rest that we still cannot look into the profitability. Most of the entrepreneur, they focus their profit after 3 years, 2 to 3 years. Okay, but then look back into the how small your enterprise, how big enterprise is. In corporate finance, most of the return come from the existing company, but for entrepreneur finance, investor will make a profit when they diverse from the venture. It is the increase in the value of the share in the company that's matter. Okay, next is okay. funding sources for the entrepreneur finance and corporate finance. Let me check by one. Okay, most of the entrepreneurial or entrepreneurship, they get their funding sources from the friends and family, crowdfunding, incubator, business angels. Business angels, those that have money but don't know what to do with their money, so they give their uh, liquidity to this entrepreneur to start the business without asking anything. So we call them as a business angel. Okay, venture capital and private equity. For venture capital, this is more maybe some investor that needs to venture with us, and they contribute some capital to start the business. Okay, private equity. Okay, but then for corporate finance, it goes to the bank and capital market. Most of them is sending the share and so forth. Okay, funding process for the entrepreneur finance is deal sourcing and screening process, and financial plan. We need to have a financial plan. Same goes to the corporate finance. Also, we have a financial plan, which is we need to forecast the financial and so forth. And then for entrepreneurial finance, maybe needs more processing, which is valuation and also term sheet. And for corporate finance, we have collateral to bank loan and standard due diligence. Means that for each loans that bank given to the corporate finance, they have the time period and processes for the certain collaterals to the bank loan. Okay, for the growth, entrepreneurial finance, monitoring and key metrics and so forth, which is corporate governance, protecting knowledge and private equity. Okay, for the corporate finance, it's more the capital budget, merger acquisition, means that how you want to grow your business. Most of the entrepreneur, they go to the monitoring and key metrics, which is they try to make some innovation to their product. Okay, or they can go to the corporate governance concept, so they can grow their businesses. Okay, and then they need to have private equity that can give more capital to them, and can make their business growth, which is open their franchising or so forth. Okay. Okay. For corporate finance or corporate finance, most of the businessmen offer this and have this. Just they have initial public offering and private equity merger and acquisition. When you are a big company, of course you can merge and acquisition another company. Okay, harvesting. Harvesting for entrepreneur finance. It's existing initial public offering. Yeah. You're trying to sell your IPO to the others who maybe have money to take what we call it's just like a venture capitals. And harvesting for corporate finance is dividends. So yeah, for each your investor, they have a dividends. Okay, next. Why most new venture need financing or funding? Most of new venture entrepreneurs need funding because of cash flow challenges. Inventory must be purchased, employees must be paid, and must be trained, and advertising must be paid for before cash is generated from sales. Because you don't have any sales for your product, but you need to make a advertising. You need to make sure that the target market, aware about your existing. So this is why you need a cash flow. Okay, capital investment. The cost of buying real estate is very high. Okay, building facilities also much more high, and the purchasing equipment typically exceed a firm ability to provide fund for this need on its own. Means that if you want to open a restaurant, you need to have a financial plan. Let's say for the operation activities, operation process, you need 10,000. For the what we call rental of the shop, you need for 3 months or 6 months, you need to have capital about, if the rental is 10,000 a month, so for 6 months 60,000. And what else, all the others is incurred a cost for the entrepreneur, so they need a funding. This, the funding sometimes is depend what, how much the funding is depend on the what kind of business you want to run and how big it is. Okay, lengthy product development cycles. Some product which is goes under development or R&D maybe need sometimes, so you need to invest more. Okay, the upfront cost often exceed a firm ability to fund these activities on its own. Okay, they have a few alternatives of few types of how you need to raising money for your new ventures enterprise. You have personal funds, equity capital, debt financing, and creative sourcing. Okay, let's go one by one. For personal funds, you can have it from your saving, you can have it from your asset. If you have jewelry, you sold your jewelry, and then if you have land, you sold your lands. If you have anything that as your equity, you sold to be a liquidity. Okay. You also can have sources of funding, sources of finance from your friends and family. Friends that very trust on you, that you can run your business and success. So this friend very close with you. So who has this friend? You have the friend that very trust on you to run businesses. So you need to find one or maybe more. Have if you have more friends like this, keep these friends. So it's maybe one day you want to open your business and then this friend will help you. Okay, family members is the one who always will help you in whatever circumstance you face. So if you are good in convincing them, no wonder they can give you any amount that you want. Okay, bootstrapping. Who knows what is bootstrapping? Bootstrapping is funding that you're getting from anywhere. Means that maybe you do something like before you start your own businesses or your own product, or your, as an entrepreneur you need to have your own product, your own I mean company. So these things, before you start that, your ideas, your innovations on that product. So you start with selling another product, selling let's say I'm selling product from being as a dropship or agent for another company first to gain the capital for my own businesses. That's we call bootstrapping, which is we looking the finances by doing something to gain the funding. Okay. Some entrepreneur, they did small things before they gain more to start growing their enterprise. Okay, example of bootstrapping method. Okay, they maybe can buy used item instead of new equipment. Okay, this is happen. Coordinate purchase with other businesses. What is coordinate purchase? Maybe they can have a actually, to start your business with bootstrapping method, you need to have a networking. Let's say you need a raw material, so you can have a credit from the supplier. So the supplier, because of supplier have trust on you, they can give you credit. Not all suppliers can give credit to the new startup business, because not all the suppliers can trust you. But then if you have a good networking, so it is Okay, lease equipment instead of buying. Yeah, we need to rent the equipment instead of buying. After we go for some stages, we can buy that. Okay, obtain payment in advance from customer, and this is most of the entrepreneur. Okay, what we can see that if we are um, of we are caterer taking order for event, so we take advance payment from them, minimize personal expenses. Some entrepreneur, they are very sacrificed in terms of their personal expenses, which is they very keeping all the whatever they have as to saving as a capital for their businesses. Okay, avoid unnecessary expenses. Of course, you need, as an entrepreneur, you need to very particular in terms of your expenses. So if there is unnecessary items, so you need no need to buy. Buy item cheaply but prudently via options such as eBay. You have another option for that. Okay, share office space or employees with others. And last, hire intern. Okay, let's say if you are to hire staff, so it's maybe costing you. You need to train them, you need to pay them for every month, but you still not get any profit. You still don't get any income for your businesses, but you need to pay them. So instead of that, you need to hire interns. Okay. I give some example of my friend who did a printing businesses, whereas during their business period, they he imports a few items from the China, maybe about millions dollar or so, for printing process and so forth. The items, then they start in at the uh, a custom. So he gained loss and almost bankrupt because of that. And for their new planning, uh, last year's, he not really buying that directly, but uh, he have their coordinate purchase with other businesses. He goes to this method for their business, which is looking for network to have those material, all those materials that in the warehouse, and try to deal as low as he can get the prices. Okay, preparing to raise debt or equity financing. First, you need to determine precisely how much money you need. How much money you need to start your businesses. How much money you need to get operating. Okay, determine. Second step is determine the types of finances or funding that is the most appropriate. So the first one, entrepreneur, usually they can get their financing from their own saving, their own equity or asset. Okay. Last, which is step 3, develop a strategy for engaging potential investor or bankers. Usually, bankers or investor can give you after you start your businesses, or when you have your own premise. You have your own shop. You have your own business. Means that you already register your business. You have your shop, and then you run for a few months. So you make some business plan, offer to them, present to them, and you get the financial. Okay. Two most common alternative for preparing to raise debt or equity financing means when you need to having debts with a bank, which is getting a loan. So you need to prepare something for that, which is a business plans, your forecasting, your maybe you representing your equipment and so forth, your premise and so forth. Okay, means exchanging partial ownership in a firm, usually in the form of stock for funding. So instead of you are fully own your own business, then to have funding, you try to exchange and giving maybe 40 to 60% of your share to the other who are willing to give you funding. This is how you matching a new venture characteristic with the appropriate form of financial or funding. Okay, you just can go through. If you have a weak cash flow, so the sources of funding, which is personal fund, family fund, so forth. If the business has low risk with a more predictable return, so you can have debt financing, which is loan and so forth. Okay, but the business offer a high return, of course, equity. You can choose equity concept. Okay. Next, preparing an elevator speech. What is elevator speech? Hmm? Who know what is elevator speech? An elevator speech is a brief, carefully constructed statement that outlines the merits of a business opportunities. There are many of occasions when a carefully constructed elevator speech might come in handy, and most elevator speech are around 60 seconds long. Yeah, most of the elevator speech is only 60 seconds. If you can see one of US reality program for business owner or innovative person, Shark Tank or Shark Tank. If I'm not mistaken, its name as Shark Tank. Shark Tank, like that. So that one is something that you need to present your business concept within 60 seconds to explain everything. So that about your product, your futures, your benefit, your product benefit and so forth. So okay. Uh, Someone need to do this assessment. Okay, I will put this as your tutorial for this chapter. Okay. Very interesting for elevator speech just now. Okay. How to prepare an elevator speech? Okay, step one, just 60 seconds you have. Okay, you need to describe the opportunities or problem that needs to be solved, and then you describe your product needs and the opportunities or solve the problem. If you have a good innovation for your product, so you need to show that, you need to let them know. Okay, let's say I have a pen. What make a difference between this pen, my own pen, with another pen, another brand? Okay, you need to describe that. Okay, step 3, which is describe your qualification, and also you need to describe your market. Who is your target market? Why you target them? What benefit you? So you need to elaborate more on that as well. Okay, so you have 60 seconds for your elevator speech. Okay, next. Sources of equity funding, you have venture capital, business angel, initial public offering. What was this? Okay, let's go. Business angel, just I mentioned just now, business angel is individual who invest their personal capital directly in startup businesses. So this prototype of business angel is about 50 years old, has high income and wealth, is well educated, has succeeded as an entrepreneur, and is interested in the startup process. Usually, most of the business angels, they have their own capitals, they have they are very success in their business, so they try to look for another startup ventures that they can invest. Okay, the number of business angels in the US has increased dramatically over the past decade. If you saw a program, yeah, Shark Tank, which is they offer a funding and they from various types of investor to those who succeed presenting their business well during the what we call that elevator speech just now. Okay, business angel. Let me give you this Shark Tank. Just let me give you in the chat room. Okay. Business angels are valuable because of their willingness to make relatively small investment. Even you, they don't know who are you, but because of your product is very innovative, so they're willing to invest. This investor generally invests about $10,000 and 500,000 in a single company. Some of them can give 1 million even flew into your product or your innovation. Okay, they are looking for companies that have a potential to grow between 30% to 40% per year. Means that within that year they already get their profit from you. Okay, business angels are difficult to find. This is very true. Most of the business angels, those who can believe you, who can believe that your innovation product can go far. So it's very hard to find. Sorry for the sounds. Okay, venture capitals, by your own self. This that's a venture capital is someone that try to invest into you without any home run and so reject the majority of proposal. You need some proposal for this lah. Initial public offering. This is most of the company first sale of stock to the public. When a company goes public, its stock is traded on one of the major stock. Okay, most entrepreneurial firms that go public trade on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is international stock market, which is weighted heavily towards technology, biotech, and small company stock. Okay, if we is in Malaysia, we go to the Bursa Saham. Reason that motivate firms to go public, of course, to gain more investor for their firm. Okay, it's a way to raise equity capital to fund current and futures operation, and also raise a firm public profit, making it easier to attract high quality customer and business partner. Okay, there is few another reason. Okay, sources of debt financing, of course, the commercial loan and SBE granted loan. Commercial bank, which is the banks that need your proposal, you need to present to them. Okay. SBE granted loans program, approximately 50% of the 9,000 banks in the US participate in the SBE granted loan program. The program operates through private sector leaders who provide loans that are guaranteed by the SBE. This is the size and type of loan for SBE granted loan just now. Okay, and other sources of debt finance like vendor credit, factory. Vendor credit, which is you open your vendor to have a credit to your business in order to allow the businesses to buy its own product. Okay, peer-to-peer lending as well, one of the sources for debt financing. Creative sources of financing or funding. One of them is crowdfunding, leasing, grant program. Malaysian government usually give grant to the business that involve with technology. So if you are businesses that not involved with technologies, don't have been to get a grants. Okay, maybe have but not very high. Strategic partner as well. Okay. Crowdfunding is the practice of funding a project or new venture by raising monetary contribute from a large number of people. Two types of funding program, which is reward-based crowdfunding. This is you get your money, your funding when you are join competition and so forth. Is one of that lah. Okay. Two equity-based crowdfunding help business raise money by tapping individual who provide funding in exchange for their equity in the business and so forth. Like you read this. Okay, last but not least, leasing. A lease is a written agreement in which the owner of the piece of the property allow an individual or business to use their property for a specific period of time in exchange for payments. Maksud means that within 6 months, if you don't get a profit, you still can continue to rent the shop for next another 6 months. So this is until you get the profit, so you can pay the rent. Okay, that's it. SBIR and STTR grant. You need to look this back. SBIR is the Small Business Innovation Research and the Small Business Technology Transfer Program are two important sources of early stage funding for technology firms. Like I mentioned before this, if you are a technology businesses that have innovation on your product based on the technology, so you can have this, you can join this program and you try to convince all the judges panels about your product, about your innovation, about your technology, so you can raise your fund for your startup business. Okay. Okay, this is private grant and government grant. Some of biggest company or giant company or international company, they have this grant to those who want to start a business but need to present and join. Yeah, maybe they go to the competition and some what I can call that new venture program grant. Okay. And the government, I already said just now. Strategic partners, last but not least, which is strategic partners. Another source of capital for new venture. Many partners are formed to share the cost of product or service development to gain access to particular resources. Okay. Biotech firm often partner with large drug companies. See, the biotech firm benefit by obtaining funding from their partner and the partner benefit by having additional product to sales. They have win-win situation, but if you don't have this kind to offer to your partner, no one who will be your strategic partner for your businesses. Okay, that's all for this chapter. Thanks everyone. See you for next chapter. Okay.